I'm about to show you the exact process that got a landscaper 286 phone calls in 30 days and tripled a roofing company's leads in just 45 days. And most SEO agencies never reveal this because it exposes how they overcomplicate everything to justify their retainers. Because after helping businesses like landscapers, roofers, and HVAC companies show up at the top of Google search results, I've learned that Google only cares about 3 specific signals. And by the end of today's video, you'll know exactly what those 3 specific signals are and more importantly, how to optimize for them. Let's get into it. So think of Google almost like a matchmaker. They need to see specific signals from your business to know what searches to show you for. The 3 most important signals are relevance. So does your business match the search? Trust. So can Google trust you enough to show you to its users? And then proximity. So how close are you to the searcher? Most business owners don't understand what it takes to show up at the top and think it's some sort of mystery. But once you master these 3 signals, you will rank at the top in no time. Let me tell you a quick story. I started working with a residential HVAC company that does about $10 million a year in annual revenue. They've been in business for almost 25 years, but when you search, they show up on page 3 of Google. The good thing was that after optimizing for these 3 signals, they started ranking at the top of Google within a matter of months. Step number 1 is to optimize your Google business profile. Most business owners think that the Google business profile or the Google Maps profile is just some sort of set and forget thing where you collect reviews, and that could not be further from the truth. It's actually the first thing that Google shows users in local searches. So here's what most business owners get wrong. They don't understand how to optimize their Google business profile in order to rank at the top. Alright, so here's an example of a business that does their Google business profile really well. So let's break it down. First things first, their company name is probably Nadles HVAC or Nadles. But what they've done is they've likely gotten a doing business as with their target keywords in their title. So what this allows them to do is use these keywords on their Google business profile, and in turn, it helps them rank for these specific keywords. The way Google works is it looks at your company name, and if you have a keyword in it like air conditioning, you are far more likely to show up when someone searches for air conditioning repair or air conditioning installation near me. The next most important thing is the Google reviews, which we will touch on a little bit later in this video. Next, we can talk about the primary category. So theirs is HVAC contractor, but a mistake that I see a lot of HVAC companies make and other home service companies is having something like contractor or handyman or, some other sort of service that isn't your main business. And the reason that this is so incorrect and holds you back from ranking is because as a handyman, how are you supposed to rank if someone searches for an HVAC if all of your competition is an HVAC contractor? And the same applies to other industries. Probably the most common mistake that people make on their Google business profile is not having a physical address location. So let me explain. I'll show you an example of a really bad business in a second that has a service area profile. The reason that this service area profile is not letting you get the calls that you want to get is because Google works on proximity. You see, Google is far more likely to understand where your business is in relation to the searches, and if you have a physical office, you're able to outrank service area profiles all day. Now I know what you might be thinking. Well, we don't have a physical office that customers come visit us at. And yes, I agree, it's not exactly logical, but the way that Google's algorithm is set up is if you are a service area business, you are far less likely to appear in search results compared to your competitors that do have a physical pin on their profile. The next section is actually the posts. So Google looks for a couple things with these posts. First things first, just activity signals. So if you are posting 2, 3, 4 times per week, it shows Google your business is active and they're more likely to trust you in search results. The next thing is you can actually use target keywords in these posts. So look, installation by a trusted HVAC contractor, New Orleans. So they're using target keywords in these posts and they're able to show Google, hey, we're mentioning these keywords. This is what we deserve to rank for. The last section is actually the ability to upload what are called geotagged photos or images to the profile. You can actually apply coordinate or geolocational data to the photos that you post. It shows Google that this photo is from the local area and they're more likely to trust you and push you in search results locally. Alright, so here is a really bad example of how to set up your Google business profile. No offense to AC Man in New Orleans, but your profile sucks. First things first, they have a service area profile. So you can see they have this service area on maps. They don't have a physical address listed, and this is holding them back from ranking, especially in the greater New Orleans city area. Next mistake is that their business name doesn't really have any sort of keywords in it. So it's just AC Man NOLA, which is probably their brand. And I can tell this profile isn't active. They don't have a website, they're not posting. Their last review was from 5 years ago. But the issue here is they're not targeting any sort of keywords on their profile. How is Google supposed supposed to know what to rank you for. And the last thing, which we'll touch on a little bit later, is that they're not responding to any reviews, good or bad. By the way, if you're a home service business doing over $600K a year, you're probably thinking two things. First, this makes sense. Second, I don't have time to execute all this while I'm trying to run my business. If you want my help getting more phone calls from Google for your local service business, book a free consultation with me at the first link in the description. Let's get back to the video. Step number 2 is to build the right service and location pages that Google looks for. Not only do you need to optimize your Google business profile, but you need to make sure that your website has the right pages on it so that Google understands what you do. The problem is with a lot of home service companies, they have generic websites with a couple main pages. The homepage, about us, contact us, but they don't have real informational pages that actually show Google, here's the services we offer and here's the locations that we service. Google needs dedicated pages for each service type and each location to be able to rank you in search results. So here's an example of a website that does it pretty well. First things first, they have a map or web of service area pages with specific services on each page. So on this page, right when you land on it, you can instantly see their brand name, what services they offer, and the location they do it in, Boca. They also have reviews embedded, and although these probably aren't real, it tells customers, hey, people actually trust this business. Also, they have their call to action buttons super bold, and it's super easy to just move forward and contact them. But really what I want to talk about here is that they have two types of content on this page. They have dense content on their services, so they have their services mentioned here. They have a little bit more about their services, why you should choose them, and then they also show location information, which helps Google understand these guys actually are in the local area and they understand the local area. Let's show them to people searching in the local area because they're a good result. So they have driving directions to their business, they have transit data to get to their business, and they have their Google business profile map embedded with the same information on the profile. This is super important because Google sees this and says, okay, the information on their profile is consistent with the website, and they're far more likely to trust you. Finally, it uses the target keywords multiple times throughout the page content, which helps Google actually trust you to rank for those specific keywords. This is very different from companies that have pages that generally just list all the services you offer. The reason for this is because Google will look at that page and say, here's all their services. We don't know which is their main service. We don't know what locations they service, and they have no clue what searches to show you for. So if you want to rank for roof repair in Boston, you're gonna need a dedicated page with location and service information on roof repair services in Boston. Most home service businesses create these generic service pages that say, we do roof repair, and they sprinkle a bunch of keywords in there, and they don't have any location information. When we build service pages, we prove local authority because we have service area information, location specific content, and trust signals. We're targeting what people search and proving that you're the best option for Google to show them. There isn't necessarily a set number of pages that you need, but here's the best way I can describe it. Let's say that you're an HVAC company in Pasadena, California. You probably service Glendale, Altadena, Echo Park, Highland Park, maybe South Pasadena, maybe Arcadia, so these nearby service areas. What you would do is build location pages for each of those main service areas, and then under each location page, you would make a specific service page for that location. For example, you'd make a Pasadena air conditioning installation and repair page. You'd make a Pasadena heating repair and installation page. You'd make a general HVAC page for all of Pasadena. That sort of thing. Step number 3 is building trust signals. Google absolutely needs to trust you as a reputable business before they show you in search results. These signals are probably the biggest needle mover when it comes to showing up higher up on Google search. So there's really 3 main trust signals. The first is citations, which are essentially local business directory links. The next is higher quality backlinks, which come from either local businesses or industry relevant business websites. And the third is Google reviews. So citations are essentially profiles you'll set up in online business directories. The most common examples are Yelp, Yellow Pages, MapQuest, etc. But most businesses actually mess up how they build these citations. You need to make sure you use the same NAP in all of the profiles. NAP stands for name, address, and phone number, and you want to make sure you use the same NAP as your Google business profile in these online business directory profiles you set up. This helps Google see that your business information is actually consistent across all of these websites. Number 2 is backlinks. So backlinks are essentially when another website puts a link to your website on their page. Think of it almost as a vote of confidence. If this other website that has authority and traffic, it shows Google that you can be trusted by other websites, and therefore it helps Google trust you. Important to note, it is very simple to build a bunch of really crappy spammy backlinks from some sort of online provider that you might find. Always remember, one quality backlink is way better than 1,000 crappy spam links because Google looks at traffic, domain authority, relevance, and the quality of the website that you're getting the link from. Here's a couple simple ways to get better backlinks. You can reach out to local news sites and give them an article that you've written to post on their website, and in return, you ask for a backlink. You can also partner with other local businesses or other similar companies in other markets. So just reach out to them via email, say you want to exchange backlinks, and mention each other, and maybe give them a blog post to put up. You can also join local chamber of commerce. These are pretty quality links. Really, the last easy way is to just sponsor local community events or sports teams, and you'll probably get a feature on their website with a backlink to your website. The third type of trust signal that is probably the easiest and most controllable for you is Google reviews. But most business owners get Google reviews wrong. They think that you need 3,000 plus Google reviews to be able to rank at the top, and that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, there's 3 most important factors. The first is the velocity or frequency of the reviews. So how often are you getting Google reviews? You might have 100 reviews and a competitor has 500 reviews, but if you got 40 reviews in the past month and they got 5, you can actually outrank them. The next is review quality. So instead of just getting 5-star reviews without any sort of text, you should try to push your customers to mention the service, the location, and which team member or tech helped them out. This helps Google understand what services are being well rated by your customers. The third thing is responding to all reviews very quickly. I just recommend setting up an automation or working with one of your team members to check the reviews every morning and always respond to good or bad reviews. And you can actually include your target keywords in your review responses as well. So the thing about SEO is it takes time. Most businesses see results with this strategy in a couple months, but oftentimes it can take 4 to 8 months to really dominate your local area. The good thing is it compounds over time. So the more signals you send, the longer you do it for, the stronger your profile gets. In the case of the landscaper that I brought 286 phone calls in just 1 month, they didn't start seeing really good results until about 4 months of work. Months 1 through 3 were really about showing Google we're relevant and we're trustworthy. At about month 4, we started seeing the compounding effect of showing Google exactly what sort of signals it needs to see to rank us. If you want to get on the first page of Google, you need 3 main things: a well-optimized Google business profile, a website that has the right service and location pages, and trust signals in the form of citations, backlinks, and reviews. Now you have 2 main paths ahead of you. Path number 1 is taking this exact strategy that I've shown you and running with it and implementing it yourself. You have the complete roadmap. Realistically, this could take you 12 to 18 months of learning the technical skills, making the inevitable mistakes, and really just understanding how to rank against your competitors in your local market. Path number 2, let my team implement this entire system for you so you can focus on running your business. The difference here is you'll start getting calls in 90 days instead of next year. So if you're a home service business owner doing over $600K a year, book a free consultation with me at the first link in the description if you want my help getting you more phone calls and implementing this entire system done for you. We'll audit your current Google presence and then build a custom strategy and roadmap for you to rank at the top and get all the phone calls in the local area. The call is free, the audit alone is worth thousands, and you'll walk away with an exact idea of how to rank at the top, whether you work with us or not.